Greetings, fellow members of the District 81 Toastmasters community. What I am about to reveal to you is a secret that will change your life, a couple of speaking tips, and encouragement to begin enriching your life through Toastmasters. I am Richard Terrelaw, a longtime member of Toastmasters and a member of 3 clubs in Barbados. You now know one fact about me. You may also like to know that I live in Dover Christchurch. I have been married for 55 years. I have 1 daughter and 2 grandchildren. I am a former member of the New England chapter of the National Speakers Association. I am an advanced scuba diver, and I am a certified instrument flight instructor, and blah, blah, blah. That was a streamlined version of an icebreaker speech, and not a very good example at that. Icebreaker speeches are how you start your journey to be a better speaker in Toastmasters when you join. In Toastmasters, every time you embark on a new learning journey, you will begin with an icebreaker. The idea being that you must first get comfortable talking about yourself before you move on to other areas of public speaking. After all, you are most knowledgeable about yourself and should find it easier and more comfortable speaking on topics you know best. Many of you would say that math is not your favorite subject. Many of you would say that you have a fear of speaking in front of large groups. Many of you are afraid that someone you love may die. Does the fact that many of you agree with all 3 statements signify correlation, causation, or both? By correlation, I mean that the numbers move in the same pattern, but there may be nothing that connects them. By causation, I mean that there is something the answers have in common that is causing them to be so similar. And in fact, they have common cause. What they have in common are your brains. Yes, I am saying it's all in your mind, but the answer is not so simple. It most certainly is both. It is correlation because these 3 fears are unrelated ideas, yet the numbers of people that express these fears are quite similar across large populations. I have just presented you with the rule of 3, which is a writing or rhetorical principle that suggests that a trio of entities, such as events or characters, is more humorous, satisfying, or effective than other numbers. An example attributed to Julius Caesar would be Veni, Vidi, Vici. I came, I saw, I conquered. Let's look at our 3 fears a little closer to see how they can help us on our journey to better speaking. In 1996, Giacomo Rizzolatti, Leonardo Fogazzi, and Vittorio Galisi of the University of Parma in Italy discovered specialized cells in our brains called mirror neurons. Mirror neurons are believed to be an evolutionary adaptation designed to foster tribal unity and cohesion. Many of my classmates in school would say that math is not their favorite subject, so my mirror neurons will fire, and quite soon, math is not my favorite subject. Have you noticed that the nerds in school tend to hang out with other nerdy characters? That is because their mirror neurons fire with others in the group and not with the in crowd. When you perform a task that is a bit more complex than normal, your mirror neurons will fire. When you think about performing that task, the mirror neurons fire. When you watch someone else performing that task, the mirror neurons will fire. This is how memories, especially muscle memories, are built. It is also how cultural biases within a society are built. When you feel joy and satisfaction of walking on the beach, your mirror neurons will fire, recording those emotions. When you see someone else walking on the beach, your mirror neurons will fire, cementing in those same emotions. This is the source of empathy in humans and probably a few other species. What we learned from the neuroscience work at the University of Parma in Italy is that your brain cells will fire the same way no matter if you are performing a task, watching someone else performing the task, or just thinking about performing the task. Here at Toastmasters, you will get to perform all three elements on your road to becoming a better speaker. I have used this to my advantage here in Barbados. I have noticed that Barbadians do not like to go out when it is raining. This may be true in other Caribbean countries as well. My assumption is that generations of firing mirror neurons spread among the population of Barbados until this was a cultural trait in the country. Interestingly, I have never detected this tendency among the diaspora. I spent a great number of years living in the northeastern part of the United States, where it rains, snows, hails, sleets a lot. I am not put off by rain. When it starts to rain in Barbados, that is my signal to head to the bank, licensing, the post office, or any other government office I need to visit. The lines are shorter on rainy days. In your Toastmasters Club, you will see speeches being performed. You will be thinking about performing your own speeches. You will be presenting speeches. This is the triple reinforcement of the techniques you will need to become a great speaker. Remember the rule of threes. What you have heard so far is one of the triad items in becoming a great speaker. For better thinking. This is a skill that your mirror neurons will begin to help you use in all areas of your life. Warning: do not blindly accept what your mirror neurons are saying to you. It is possible that you are being led astray by mirror neurons that don't belong to you. Another item in the triad on your way to being an outstanding speaker is to speak. You now know that listening and watching others make speeches will condition your brain to help you do that. It does not seem to matter if the speeches you listen to are good or bad. As your mirror neurons file away speeches that you have heard, you will be able to identify good techniques and ineffective techniques. You will be aided by speech evaluations. These evaluations will be presented by experienced Toastmasters as well as by those fairly new to Toastmasters. That will give you a very broad perspective on what works for audiences of varied levels of sophistication. The final triad we need to consider is that of better listening. Being a great speaker is not just about speaking, it is about speaking that intersects with the needs and expectations of the audience, whether that be an audience of 1 or 1,000. As an example, suppose your speaking needs extends to improving your interview skills. The best interviewees are those that can listen well to the interviewer and then tailor their responses. If your responses can be tailored to excite your interviewer's mirror neurons in the right way, that will provide a greater chance of a successful outcome to the interview. Finally, we all have a different hierarchy of needs when it comes to speaking skills. Toastmasters is ready to provide you with over 300 practical workplace and social skills. Some of the included skills are interview preparation, online meeting management, leadership development, project management, and conflict resolution. I am here to testify to you that membership in Toastmasters will put money in your pocket, change your life, and change the lives of all those that you interact with. My fellow Toastmasters, get to work. And for those of you that are considering the changes that may be possible in your life, join now.